Hey, I gotta tell you, that is one dirty truck. And I love a clean truck. So we are about to roll through a truck wash, and I am so excited about coming out on the other side. Clean and gleaming. This is the Father Trucker. Hang in there. We're gonna show you Big John all shined up in a few minutes. Hey, this here is the Father Trucker, and I am in the queue waiting to go through a big old truck wash to get all the winter grime washed off. Big John here, and I'm excited. I gotta tell you, it's one thing that gets me all jacked up is when this big truck gets filthy dirty, being able to get it washed up and letting the true beauty of Big John shine through, which may be a weird thing to say, but if you're a trucker, you understand. And I've come to this same truck stop a few times, and literally the trucks are lined up out to the roadway, and you better bring your lunch because it's going to be a couple hours before you get to roll through the big barn doors. And I gotta say this too: if you've never been through a truck wash, it is quite an experience. Usually, there's a whole bunch of guys working inside, and they just move like bees. It's amazing to watch. It is not a cheap thing to get a truck washed. You're going to usually leave the best part of $100 on the table for sure. But when you see how hard these guys work and what the finished product looks like, it makes sense. But you might be thinking right now, Father Trucker, what's the big deal with washing a truck? And you're always talking about the Bible. So how does this relate to the Bible? Well, let me tell you how it does. You know, it does. It does. I mean, just so much around us actually is pointing to the truth. And that's something that the Bible actually even says, is that all of nature reveals the truth, a bunch of truths about God and about us and all that kind of stuff. And so the truck stop wash is no different. And let me tell you why. There's a little verse where Jesus says it doesn't do you a whole lot of good to whitewash the outside of a tomb when it's just full of dead men's bones. And so you can have the prettiest, cleanest, best looking piece of machinery on the road. But if inside the truck, the systems are all messed up, the wires are all corroded, the engine's burning oil like crazy and has no compression, then that pretty outside shell is really not worth that much at all, I'd have to say. But here's the best part. I think it's pretty cool when the outside is actually a reflection of the inside. I love it when the outside points to the transformation that has gone on the inside. And so that's what I'm shooting for. I want a truck that looks fantastic going down the road. And I'm really partial to the look of these big Western stars, I got to be honest. But don't turn me off just because of that. But I am so excited when the truck is running perfectly, the compression is great, the transmission is shifting smoothly, and everything is working as it should on the inside, and the outside looks great. It doesn't do much good to be parked on the side of the road with the hood up with a beautifully polished and gleaming semi truck. But the inside and the outside need to line up. So what do you do with that? You might be saying, Father Trucker, what am I going to do with that? Good question. I am so glad you asked. Well, here's what we need to do. And if you go back in some of the earlier videos on the Father Trucker, you're going to see that we talked about stuff like the internal inspections and taking a good long look at the inside and our hearts and how we are actually doing. But that's what I would say from that. You know, you look in the mirror and you might look and say, I'm looking all right. You know, I feel like I'm looking pretty good on the outside. But how is your heart on the inside? And there really is only one person who gets to judge, gets to decide, gets to really lay down the definition of what inside good is, and that is God himself. And so let me encourage you, as you're watching this and as you're about to watch Big John come out of the truck wash in just a few minutes, all shined up like a brand new penny, let me encourage you to do that inventory. And if you're thinking, you know what, people have no idea I look really pretty good on the outside, but inside, man, it is just all going sideways. And so let me encourage you, if that's the case, send me a comment. We can connect, and I'd love to talk to you. As the chaplain, I'd love to be able to help you process some of that stuff, because there is a way to get the inside looking even better than the outside's looking. But for now, we're going to roll through this truck stop. We're going to give these guys their due, and we're going to come out on the other side bright and shiny. This is the Father Trucker. I hope this has been good, and lean in. Don't forget, please like and subscribe, and most importantly, if you know a trucker who needs to be encouraged, or a trucker family that needs to be encouraged, would you please share these videos with them? That is why we do what we do. All right, we are coming out of the dark and dirty, and we are moving into the light. I'll tell you what, there's a little bit of water on the inside of this big boy, but they sure do a good job. I'll take you for a little walk around in a second here, but it sure is nice to have a clean truck as opposed to a dirty truck. So we'll just get her out on the road here and take a little walk around and see how the boy is dead. I came in here one day to get her done, and I had a box full of cinnamon buns that I was taking home to the family, and I thought, you know, these guys sure have worked hard to clean up this truck. So with the blessing of the mama trucker, we went ahead and gave them the cinnamon buns. And I don't know that they get too much tips as far as that goes, but we just put her down here for a second and we'll take a little walk around. That is one shiny looking truck. They did a good job on him, tell you what. Sure is nice to go down the road clean as opposed to going down the road all dirty.